Chad says. What's Chad say?
Chase your dreams, but be careful of what you dream for. I'd like it. It's a little spooky. I appreciate it, Chad. It's very true.
It is.
Let's
Be careful. You
right.
So my question is can honoring an unlived life no, my question is, what would it look like to forgive yourself for paths not taken? I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that you align yourself where you're supposed to be. And every path that you didn't go down was saving you from a road that you really didn't want to do in the first place. You just thought you did at the moment. I don't believe that in regrets. I don't believe in mistakes. I don't believe in a lot of things. I really feel that our main objective and job here is to free ourselves from this selves and not attach ourselves to worldly nothing worldly. We're supposed to just be here and learn how to turn our emotions on and off because they're just feelings. So yeah, no, I don't think the same. What about you, Moon Tortoise?
Go ahead, repeat the question. I just like to hear it again.
I don't know. I gotta find it again. I added more.
I'm always trying to listen to your answer and dissect it, but I don't want to base it off your answer.
I can't find it. I added more.
Oh no.
What would it look like? What would it look like to forgive yourself for paths not taken?
What would it look like?
Yeah.
For paths not taken. Not falling into despair and regret. And to keep proceeding. I think it's kind of crazy to have one singular dream. I like it's good to have a good direct focus, but stack your goals and have multiple outlets. We got a new comment.
Yes.
Chad says, chase your dreams, but be careful of what you dream for and be aware of where you stand in life. Don't pass the burden on to others. That was cool. I was kind of wondering, because you said be careful of what you dream for. And honestly, I think Chad, who I've met many times, is quite the dreamer. Interesting cat, man of many talents. And being a person of many talents means you got to have some dreams.
D Saint, you figured it out.
Whoa.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. How are you?
All is truly well. So tell people a little bit about yourself, since this is your first time coming on here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm very fascinated with your questions. Very well written, let me say. Very well written. I am an entrepreneur. I'm 38 years old. I've been married for 18 years. I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. I own a construction company in Toronto. I have my master contractor's license in building and residential and building and repair. I moved out to Halifax actually a couple years ago before COVID and was able to buy a house out there and be mortgage free at 32. Being able to move out there and really get out of the city. And now I spend my time coaching football and making music and going on the road doing beat competitions, believe it or not. As I'm a big piano player and a big guitar player, and I've always had a lot of rhythm. So now that I've turned this hobby has kind of taken off a little bit on me, and I joined a competition in New York, and I'm going to another competition in Toronto, and it's been very, very, the best part about it isn't even the the acknowledgement. It's more about the heart to heart conversations. So my whole life, coaching football and being involved in football my whole life, I've had a lot of camaraderie with a lot of men a little younger than me, a little bit older than me, and I've been able to create that bond with them, and I still mentor them to this day. And I still talk to them, and we still share, stories and stuff like that together. And the music, honestly, that's the best part of it is that it's kind of, I use it as almost like a break the conversation or open the door kind of way. And then we're able to open up the hearts of men and be able to have a bond with them. Of course, I'm married, and of course, I have lots of bonds with lots of women as well. But being a coach on a full males team, it's very rare to get them to kind of open up. So the music is a very great. It's a great. It's a great way to break the door open. But thank you so much for having me, and I'm very intrigued by your questions. I think they're heartfelt questions that really are thought provoking, and that's great.
So,
It's rare.
Congratulations for this guy.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So have you grieved a life without people knowing that you envisioned in your head differently?
So repeat that. So have you grieved in your life of people that you thought, sorry?
No. Have you grieved a life in your head than you that you thought you were going to live differently than what you're living now?
I've never grieved it, but I've definitely had second thoughts, like, am I making the right decision? For sure. I think we all are human. We all hesitate. But I feel like courage comes after, bravery comes after experience. I think that we're all scared at first, and you push through it. And then that's when the bravery comes through, when you push through it, right? Kind of like my daughter with the jumping off the slide or jumping off the thing in the pool. She didn't want to do it. Now that's all she does every time. It's kind of the same kind of concept. Once you break the ice, you feel more confident with it. But I've never grieved the life that I never had. I've been very content with the life I had personally.
Yeah.
So, but yes, of course, I've always shot for the stars and tried to land on the moon as a mentality. So like, the other fellow that was in here, I didn't catch everyone's name, that was saying that you have dreams, and everyone has dreams that, they thought they would do, and, so everyone would be disappointed and stuff. But the first thing I ever wanted to do when I was young was make music, and I felt like everything that I've done kind of went towards that. I'm very lucky that I've been blessed in that sense. Being an entrepreneur and working for myself since I was 22 years old, I've been able to make my own schedule, so to speak, and really focus on the things like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So football, how long have you been doing football? Because I like what you're doing. There's a lot of camaraderie in sports. And I think that men typically do use music and a lot of other things that might not be as good as therapy. So I think it's a wonderful way to get through. And what started you with football, basically, is what I want to ask. I like sports.
That's a great question. You're right. And I loved football when I started playing, because I know it sounds crazy, but what other situation are you going to get it together with a bunch of guys and get all hugged? And like, guys don't really get a lot of hugs, and there's not a lot of physical contact a lot. So getting a hug and accomplishing a goal together and celebrating is like, it's almost like above the game. Like there's a bond. It's almost like we went to war together. It's weird how close you can get with someone when you have a common goal and you face adversity and you trust each other and accomplish that goal, how quickly you bond. Like, it's just like almost like instantly. It's like, you're like, man, like we're close together. And I think that's, thousands and thousands of years of, that kind of thing happening, and that collectively from that, but because we're human and, we're based in communities and villages, and kind of, we all need each other, right? Now in the 2026 and lately, everyone's such an individualist. Like, everyone's in their own big house and their own, like you guys were saying, we're a lot of close, tight family, right? My father was born in Italy and my mom was born in Holland. So both of my parents come from big families. I have a lot of aunts and uncles. So that is gone. I was saying that to my wife too. Me and my wife been together for 18 years, and I said that to her. I was like, my daughter doesn't have that. She doesn't have tons of uncles and aunts like they used to have, right? Like I only have one brother and one sister, and she's got one brother. It's not, there's not a lot of big families anymore, in my opinion, for a lot of Canadians. Obviously, other heritages in other places have a lot more children, and I'm very envious of that. Of like you were saying, you wish you had more children. Definitely, you want more children when you get older. But at the time, we're also in a very selfish time where everyone's up for themselves and what they need and what they want and what's what they think they deserve and stuff, which is fine. And I'm not knocking it, but it depends on what you value in life, right? So when you get older, you realize that family is all that matters. And all the relationships are what matter, and the memories are what matter, right? But when you're younger, you're so caught up in it. But the bond and getting into football was something that was just fell into my lap. No one in my family played football. No one watched football. They're all hockey people. No one played football, so it was something that I kind of fell into naturally. Yeah.
Well, I had to ask about the combat sports thing. I'm going to pass it back on to Badger, but we did wrestling, and then my family did judo in Port Huron. Here, we had a judo club for forever. My grandpa studied abroad, so I did a lot of hugging sports. Like I've hugged many men for many hours, and it does build sense of camaraderie. I will tell you, you do a lot more smashing when you hug, but.
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure. There's a sense of camaraderie when you guys have a common goal and stuff. But yeah, that kind of side of it too. There's many sides of it for sure. But it's what you get out of it, right? But a lot of people aren't accepting, right? And they don't try to do new things anymore. A big thing that I noticed, which I thought was really, really fascinating, that someone brought up to me, and I've been looking for it now, is that every time you go to the emergency room, or anytime you go to a hospital or anything like that, or anytime you go places, you don't see kids or people with casts very often. It's like almost like, because kids don't go outside anymore. People don't take risks anymore. People they don't even let their kids go play in their backyard because they're in fear of all this stuff, but they're free roaming on the internet. But so to speak, which is potentially more dangerous. But that's
yeah. Check us out Mondays for Let the Children Speak. We do a segment that's all kids Monday, where we give kids a chance to speak about what they go through and what they're dealing with social media and society and all that pressure. And I think it's a really good thing. We're going to keep pushing it. So it's important.
It's a different era that none of us have lived through. So it's new for everybody, every generation. The world has changed drastically with technology, but there's lots of great things about it too.
Well, certainly.
Like right now, building connections and being places. I think also that after COVID, it's more socially acceptable now to have meetings and talking over video call now. Where I feel like before COVID, people were very foreign to it and they fought against it, right? And then kind of after COVID happened, then people were way more socially acceptable and able to do this. Like my 73-year-old father now will have a video call with me now, where before he would have did it. No way. There's just no way. He would have like, I don't even know nothing, right?
It was a renaissance for the elderly and texting and sometimes a downfall. You are 100% on that one.
So I'm going to ask SGF Graham a question real quick. SGF Graham, let's say, because how everything happens for a reason. And we realize that we asked for this. We asked for this even though we think that it didn't come the way we asked for it. We just weren't direct with what we were asking. So, I mean, how can people look at it in that light?
Okay, ask that question again. How can people look at what light?
How can people look at life in that light, as in everything happens for a reason, and that you asked for this? You just weren't direct with what you wanted.
I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that all the time. I believe that we let doubt and negativity take us away from what we was dreaming, because the The universe isn't here to prove that you can't get the dream or not or whatever, but people want it on their own time. So they'll sabotage it with their other thoughts. And it might not come into fruition because they didn't get it on their own time. Um, so I personally don't know how to answer that one. You might have to give that to somebody else because that's my belief in it.
Okay, okay. Moon tortoise. If we believe everything happens for a reason, and this is the life we asked for, just because it's not the way we thought it should be doesn't mean it's not what we really asked for. How could we help people see that? No. Okay. Moon tortoise is not with me.
Sorry, glitched out there. One more time.
Okay. Well, so let's say we look at it as everything happens for a reason, and we asked for this life, even though it wasn't, we just weren't direct with it. So, how can we help people see that everything's happened the way it's supposed to happen?
How are we supposed to say everything happens for a reason? The hippie answer is you have to let go. You have to know that there's always another path that you can take. There's always a chance for change as long as you have a chance to change your thought process. And the not hippie answer is there are way too many awful people making decisions and controlling everything. And I think everybody's going to have a lot more chance to change if we address it. There we go. That'll be controversial.
Okay. Because they said if this path was meant for you, how does that change the way you see your past? You won't live with regrets. You won't live with regret. You'll live with knowing that it's a literal universe and you literally asked for this without knowing you did. That's how I would say it. What about you, Jeff Graham?
I wanted to go back to the question that I had skipped.
Okay.
Now that Henny Hand has answered. See my thought process on that is like, let's say, me, I keep manifesting my financial gain. Well, I feel that personally I'm not moving in the financial gain alignment. Whatever, like mentally, yeah, I want it. Yeah, spiritually, and I'm polite and all these things of that nature or whatever, but y'all say universe, I say God or whatever, when you ask for something, the universe or whatever you want to call it is going to has to put you in that position to receive it. And people feel like just because they mentally want it, that they're ready for it or whatever. And a lot of times people get the financial gain that they asking for at that specific time, they will blow it. They will destroy it one way or the other. They will give it out to everybody thinking that that's what they're supposed to do, or they would be completely greedy with it, not serving others or whatever. And that's one part of the universe or whatever, is servants and things like that. So the universe has to put you, and no matter what you ask for, you ask to be a famous musician. Are you ready to be a famous musician? The universe has to slowly align you for that, or whatever. You want to be this big tech guy or whatever. It's like going to school. You want to be a tech. You have to go to school and learn it or whatever. You have to be ready for that process. You don't just be that because you want to be that. So that's why I look at it that people think it's sabotage what's going on because what they asked for isn't what it looked like, but the universe had to take them through that so that when they get it, they can receive it and keep it entertainment versus screwing it off.
Okay. So, my question is, what if life answered your questions, or what if life answered the questions your soul asked for, not the ones your mind expected? what if you felt that, you know, this isn't the life I dreamt and whatnot, but it wasn't really, it was what your mind expected, not your soul, because they're two different things. Your soul is something totally opposite than your mind. Your soul wanted something more, so much more, and this is exactly what your soul yearned for, not what your mind thought. So, I don't live with regrets, and I don't see things as a regretful life. I believe honestly that everything happens for a reason. So, D Saints, if nothing was wasted and meaning, or what meaning do you give this chapter of your life?
Wow, these are so profound questions. This is amazing. um, uh, can you reword that one more time? Because I'm still thinking about the last question about the different approaches on how you approach that. Because I was going to hit the accountability approach, or but I understand the other approach with the religious approach, which was amazing, which I understand. But I like the also the accountability approach of it as well. Is that you are where you wanted to be sometimes, like you are where you want to be. Right. Like, you know, you put every day, you got 24 hours in a day to make a change. And a lot of people, not obviously some, there are the exceptions to every rule, but for the majority, people are where they want to be in life because of the choices they made. Right. And the choices that they constantly make. But that might be the accountability side of it. But then there's also the religious side of it is that, you know, you are, everything's meant to be and you are where you are. But do you, I guess that comes down to destiny, really. Do you believe in destiny or not? Right. And I don't. I think that destiny isn't really a thing. I think there's free will. I think you're destined to have a limited options because of where you're born and raised. Sure. But, you know, you have the choice of free will to change that at any moment, at any second, at any time. And that's the best part of life, in my opinion. Well, not the best, but one of the best parts that you can change at any moment. It's never too late to change, and you can change it all. And which is an amazing feeling that it's never too late, right? But
Yeah.
for the second question, I would could you ask me one more time because I want the second to digest it.
I lost it. I apologize. I move on so quick.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's okay. That's okay. I'm sure you got a few more in the bag there.
Yeah.
Keep the positivity rolling.
Yeah. So, SGF Graham, what becomes possible when you trust the road that you've chosen and not against you?
Probably the one most important one is actually completing the process. You have to trust the process in order to complete the process. So I would say that that would be one of a big thing. And one thing I wanted to throw in is that I don't know how scientists figured this out. I didn't never do the science work, but it's something that all spiritual and religion says or whatever. They just got a number, science made a number up for it or whatever. We see 0.0036 is what the percentage of what reality is. Everything else is everything else. So it's not even a 0.5% of what you see. And this is why I say that, and I agree with him with the unlimited, what you can create, because we can't even see everything that we create because we create it. So you gotta, this is why I say that there is no limit or whatever. I I won't be careful with what I dream or whatnot because I know that whatever you dream is fathomable. If you believe in moving that way or whatever. So I won't be one of the ones. I won't be the one that'll fool a dream from a reality. But I also know that that reality is made from dreams. Or the frequency of dreams. Your heart, your brain does not understand when you're going through a dream or a reality. That's to even prove that point or whatever. You'll go through a dream and wake up thinking you're still in that dream or whatever, things of that nature. So, that's just to add to what I was saying.
Okay. So, Moon Tortoise, what becomes possible when you trust this road was chosen for you, not against you?
What becomes awesome roads chosen for you, not against you?
Yeah.
Well, look at the victim mentality. It's made you on a soul level and even a physical level. And you kind of disregard that and realize that all the terrible stuff going on, like I said, the perception, the life is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, you could run away out in the middle of the forest and live as long as you wanted, and it could be beautiful if you know how to make fire. It's a good idea. But you can change it. And you, D, tapped on, in your environment, we get stifled sometimes by our environment. I'm a big champion of leaving your environment and going and seeing other things and checking it out, because you will start to feel clogged up. Your filter will get clogged up seeing the same damn thing over and over and over again. So, yeah, it's cool. And if that change will spark better things in your life, but that is kind of hard to do sometimes. So whatever steps you can take to kind of change your habitat for a while and start redirecting your thought process to enjoying doing that, it's going to make big leaps and bounds. So I guess, yeah, to answer the question.
Okay.
Forward
So, and
thinking.
then D, I found the question. It said, if nothing was wasted, what meaning do you give this chapter?
This chapter in my life,
Yes.
or me specifically, if nothing was wasted, what would I credit it to? This chapter in this life? What was it?
Yes. Yes. What would you give meaning to?
What would I give meaning to? Well, I would definitely give credit to bonding relationships and making sure that relationships were more important to me than accomplishments. And for me, that was such a great thing. And I'm so glad that I ignored my mind and listened to my heart in that aspect. And I had so many heart-to-heart conversations with people and talked to people about those kind of things. And you'd be surprised how much you can help someone when you just listen and don't talk. I know it sounds so simple, but if you just listen to people and actually just let them get it out, sometimes they find the answer themselves, very similar to like therapists, right? They do the same thing. You let them come up with let it out, right? And you give them a safe place to speak and speak their mind. And it's so rare in a world right now where there's so much going on and so much noise and so much distractions and doom scrolling, you name it, temptations. There's a lot going on now. But crediting things for this chapter of my life, I'm going to have to say, obviously, is my marriage and my relationship with, I have a very deep religious belief, but I don't share that with anyone that doesn't ask questions, because, that's each to their own. You call it whatever you want. But for me, I credit it to my relationship with my wife. We've been together for 18 years and we have a really strong bond. And it's really important to invest in each other. One of our favorite things to do is invest in your mind. It's one of my favorite things that we would say is we're going to invest in our mind here, and we're going to take time to learn this kind of stuff, right? So I watch a lot of tutorials. I am a university graduate of YouTube University, big time. I like to teach myself a lot of stuff on YouTube when it comes to tutorials. And when it comes to a lot of stuff. So, yeah, it's super handy. And I think it's a big resource that people underutilize, maybe is the right word. We have this amazing thing in our pocket called a phone that our grandparents and grandparents never had anything even close. So I have a whole library in my pocket. People use it for entertainment, but really I use it for communication, education, and people obviously use it for entertainment, but it's something that We have this amazing things around us. It's how you look at it. It's what you look at in the room. If you look for all red, you're going to notice all red, right? It's what you focus on. It's what you gravitate to. It's like when you're driving, you don't focus on the car that's coming at you. You focus on the line, right? Or you gravitate towards the tree. Don't look at the tree when you're skiing. When you're skiing down a hill, because you'll hit it. You don't, right? One of those things, right? So, and that comes with experience and having good instincts. And of course, that doesn't come without mentorship. And when you take away the community and you take, and there's so many single parents that it's almost impossible. They're raising themselves. How the hell? They're not getting that mentorship. There's no community sense. There's no elderlies and stuff helping each other. It's so rare. You know what I mean? So all these families are by themselves and locked up in apartments, and both parents got to work, or if best case scenario right now, if both your parents are together, they're both working. That's like best case scenario, because there's so many single mother homes and single parent homes. Doesn't have to be mothers or fathers, they're both obviously, but single parent homes is really an epidemic in my opinion right now, and it's really starting to have a hit, especially with like Gen Z. Maybe millennials, not so much, but I think the Gen Z is really feeling it. Yeah.
Okay. So, ask Jeff Graham, you want to say that real quick?
I appreciate it just being up there, but I just said clearing generational curses is one of my goals. If it was everything moved perfect, then I credit it to my determination and purpose.
Okay. Welcome, Dre Kid. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. My question is, before we do the positive messages, my question is, if you're exactly where you're meant to be, how do you want to show up now? Well, never live with regrets. Never live with doubt. Never live with what if. Because when you think of that lower chakra vibrational thought process, you're going to stay there in your root chakra. You're going to stay in that suppression kind of mindset of old and dude. And when you get outside of that and you realize something, it's greater than what it is. It's bigger than what it is. And that nothing happens to you. It only happens for you. And once you have that mindset, you're able to grow, and you allow freedom to come in, and you allow to live in the moment. And that's the only thing that matters, because tomorrow doesn't exist. Yesterday was never even really here. And the only thing that you can contribute love and happiness and joy is in this moment right now that you're living in. And if you want different for the moment, then stay in that moment and make the next moment an even better moment. That's my opinion. So let's do positive quotes, and so we can wrap this up, and we want to hear what Tom Schul said. So do we have a Tom Schul question?
I might skip that to answer a couple of things from D that I didn't get to touch on when he was done. And I wanted to say, when people start talking, you start listening like that, reassociation is an awesome thing. And you will notice people start letting you know how they feel about certain things. And usually it's going to go right to like something heavy that's going on in their life, their biggest problems and fears and things that are going on. And it's awesome. It's awesome to be on that kind of listening level with people. And I do see the single parent thing going on. And to just say, to relegate what I said earlier, to not be doom and gloom about a lot of bad people controlling things, I would like to see an enhanced sense of community that treats each other like family. I would like to see lots of people not just dying from working themselves to death, but having time to actually tend to the gardens that we all have and feed ourselves with real food and hunting. And I honestly, when I go out and buy food and stuff now, I don't like to eat the meat. I try to go to my friends who go out and hunt and get venison, and I just prefer to eat real. And I would love to see a world where problems like that are eradicated for people and dreams are more achievable. So I think I love having a platform like this to talk about it. And that's my positive message. I want to see a brighter world like that. And I'm really happy that we have the chance to talk about it.
we don't have to skip the Thomas Schul thing. We're almost done with it. Let's continue it. I enjoy it.
I will find. I will find one.
I love how neurodivergent and I don't know, quirky that he is at a young
Yes.
age. At a young age.
I'll be right back. Here's some positive.
Okay.
Hey,
What's
guess
your positive message? Go ahead.
when we finish, stay on for like 5 minutes after it ends, so I can tell you why the single parent household thing is taking off like it is.
So I don't know if you heard him, D, but he was saying after we get done with the show and we end the live, stay on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, I heard him. I was just waiting my turn to talk on mute. No, I can hear you guys perfectly. Thank you. Absolutely. And big points. And also, that was very beautiful. Well said. Awesome. No, this is great. I think it starts with the conversation. That's what you got to do. This is what it is. I like it.
Okay. Go ahead, Moon.
Is humanity at its best? Is humanity at its best a metaphysical essay? Why are people so goddamn stupid? Asked the man. Because I have given man a free will and a soul, said God. I have made man a thinking animal. Oh, said the man. You're all wrong, said Tom Schul. Man is dumb as hell. Look at what I just sat here and wrote all this down. I could have been sleeping. The end. P.S. Just a little bit of knowledge for the values of clarification. P.P.S. My notebook. P.P.P.S. 25 cents, please. Well, I have no idea what.
Oh, whatever. So at this time of the show, we all say something positive to wrap this up, and then when we do the outro. So D, what is your positive message?
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you. I love the energy and I love the warm welcome. You guys are very, very good people. I could tell that we'll get along great. My positive message is to take advantage and live in the moment, like you were saying. I like it. I was very beautiful. When I said it was very beautifully said, that's what I was referring to. That, living in the moment is very important, like you're saying, because that's all you can change. The Gandhi. I'm going to leave it with the Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world. And thanks for having me.
No, of course. You're part of the team now. I'm glad you're able to figure out how to get on.
Thank you.
And SGF Graham, what is your positive message?
A positive message is to find the lesson in everything, good or bad, that you're going through. Don't just focus on the bad. There was a lesson even in what you did good, rather it was something that you need to be consistent in, or the message in bad, something you need to probably change. And understand that the only thing promised in life is change. It's just which way are you going to change?
Okay. So, if you free your mind and uncondition your eyes, or free your eyes and uncondition your mind, no matter how you see it, it's about perception. So if you change your way of viewing this, grief doesn't have to be pain. Grief doesn't have to be something of a loss. Grief doesn't have to be, oh, this is where I thought I should be. If everything happens for a reason, then maybe nothing in your story was misplaced. Nothing for the turns you did not expect. Not the doors that closed quietly. Not the versions of you that had to fall away. Maybe life has been answering in a deeper request. Not the picture you imagined, the growth you needed. That does not mean it was easy. It does not mean that it was empty. It does not mean it was unanswered. It means it mattered. You can allow to trust that this path is yours, that you are not behind, that nothing was wasted, that this is the People's Podcast where every voice matters and every journey is honored. Until next time, with the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Let's walk forward knowing you are exactly where you need to be. Peace and love, everyone.
Peace,
Love
peace.
y'all. Wonderful to meet you, D.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up, execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah.